Today, we're talking a little bit about fire. So when I was very young, many moons ago, me and my cousin were outside playing. We were bored to tears. It was summertime, and we created something. We took a super soaker and filled that super soaker with 1 part gasoline, 1 part lighter fluid, and then we taped a Zippo to the end of this thing. Now, hold on a minute. If you think that's a bad idea, you just reserve those thoughts, and you can tell me later if this was a bad idea or not. And then, we would pump up the super soaker, pressurize the fluid inside, light the Zippo, and then just spray this thing like crazy up into the air. It went like 30 feet. It was like a really awesome dope that worked. Unfortunately, we got bored with this idea, and we went and got the hose, buckets of water, and decided to shoot things with this super soaker that was actually a flamethrower. So we sprayed the side of a shed that was, in my backyard, and the fire would hit and then splatter on the shed, and it just looked so cool. And then we would spray it down with the hose, and everything was good. So we did that for about half an hour, just keep spraying the shed with fire and then spraying it down. And then we got bored, so we sprayed everything down, and then we left. We went to a movie that night, came home, went to bed, and then, Mom, I'm sorry. I really am so sorry. This is something I've been apologizing to my mother basically my whole life. Anyways, I get awoken. Awoken? Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word. Awoken. I was woken. I was awaked. I woke up to my mom. My mom woke me up, and she's screaming and yelling, saying, "Oh my gosh, the fire department's here. The police are here. Somebody burnt down our shed." And then in my mind, the only thing that I'm thinking is like, oh my goodness, I'm going to prison. My mother's going to send me to prison. So she's telling me somebody burnt down our shed. And I think my response was like, oh no, Mom, that's really bad. Who would do such a thing? So anyways, we go out and talk to the fire department. They had already mostly extinguished the shed that had caught on fire, and this was at 3:00 in the morning. So I eventually had to come clean. I had to tell the fire chief that, like, yeah, we made a flamethrower and we were spraying it. So basically what had happened was, we sprayed this sucker and then thought we put it out, but clearly some embers or something fell down under the shed. Bottoms of sheds, they filled with leaves, all the other flammable stuff, and it just smoldered for hours and hours and hours, supposedly, and, took a blaze in the early mornings. That was a terrible, terrible thing. And the worst part about it was my mother's, like, all of her baby pictures were out there, her grandmother's, like, keepsakes and stuff. They were all in plastic containers, just out in the shed, and it all got burnt to the ground. So, Mom, I love you. I'm so sorry. I love you a lot, Mom.